Hey Houston, it's Dinko, the realtor. How far are home prices going to fall once we're done with the great housing correction? Well, I'm going to share that with y'all in this video. I have some charts that are going to be a pretty good indicator of where we potentially could end up. So let's take a look here. So here's San Francisco. And if we take a look at the 08-09 bubble, we see that prices plummeted. And where are we going to end up? And we see here that the prices artificially inflated as well as they did over here in San Francisco. Now, the question is where we're going to end up, right? So it's finally in the news. It's been a couple of months that we've been in a housing correction, but I guess it's not official until it's in the news. And now, according to Moody's, they have downgraded 210 housing markets where they can see the prices falling 20 to 25%. And they said 10 to 15 if we don't enter a recession, 20 to 25 if we do enter a recession. And last time I checked in my econ classes, that recession is two negative terms of GDP, and we have that. So I don't know when they changed the recession, but we're definitely in it. Again, they're always a couple of months late. And now the fact that the prices have been correcting for a couple of months and we have the fear in the news, it's going to further cause the home values to correct. And then we have some other stuff that's going to happen. But if we take a look here, 1/3 of all houses for sale are new construction. So this was at the end of the fourth quarter of 2021. So in December of 2021. And Houston was actually the number one metro at 39.5% of houses that were for sale being new construction. Well, why is this a bad thing when it comes to the housing correction? Well, that just means there's more inventory of new builds, and if once existing home sellers decide to put their houses on the market, which we saw starting in March, and the slowdown that started happening, home inventory started skyrocketing March, April, May, June, and July. So now it's finally settling down since the school year has started. But that's an indicator that inventory, it might not be a problem and won't be actually a problem here in the future. So the other thing is the last housing bubble actually missed Texas. This time, Texas is actually the second most overvalued state in the nation. So this time, Texas is definitely not going to be lucky as prices have just been skyrocketing. The other thing is housing starts in the U.S. rebound to the fastest pace since 2006. Well, that was right prior to the 08-09 crash. So now we're seeing that same new construction inventory starting to pile up that we saw prior to that 08-09 crash. And if we take a look here, housing starts surged in February of 2022. They went up 22% from February of 2021, and they were up 6.8% from January of 2022. So January had higher starts than January of 2022 had higher starts than January of 2021, and February of 2022 had much higher starts than we had in February 2021. So all of this is coming after the inventory share was so high. So what happens this upcoming December is the inventory of new construction going to be even higher than it was last year. And if that's the case, the market's slowing down much quicker. And the market was actually slowing down at the end of the 2021 calendar year. So I want to share this other article real quick where it kind of shows that. And it was as if you were driving 70 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour on the interstate, and all of a sudden you're just stopping to like 35, 40 miles an hour. I mean, August, September was really weird. Once December came around, there was houses that were on the market for 80 plus, 100 plus days. So we had that slowdown. And the reason that it's going to potentially, that housing bubble is going to burst is we have two inflation periods now, because the Omicron variant with China's zero COVID policy caused supply chain issues, hate politics, but Biden decided to actually more than double the wood tariff on Canadian wood, which now was causing more supply chain issues in the US when it came to new construction. So that now started skyrocketing home prices in January of 2022. So it was a whole thing. Trump's the one who put them in place in 2017, I believe it was. So I don't like politics, but politics is what put us into this situation. The Fed, all these monetary policies, all this printing money, it caused the economy to overheat. Now it's a double-edged sword. You don't do anything, the economy overheats. You cause a Great Depression. You do something about it, you cause a recession. Plus now we have a global recession. I mean, it could be bad, right? So In this article here, home price growth in the U.S. shows signs of slowing down in 2021. And if we go down a little bit further, the National Association of Realtors here says that September was actually lower than the previous month, and this was the third straight month of declines. So there was a slowdown going on in 2021, and then it artificially inflated again in 2022. So there's two bubbles in this new bubble. So let's go back here to the chart. We see the prices skyrocketing and then plummeting down. And if you take a look, they go back about 4 years. So if we go to the next one, Seattle didn't plummet as much, but it also didn't appreciate as much. So there's also a correlation between appreciation and depreciation in the bubble. Potentially could be the case here for the new bubble as well. So if we see it bottomed out, comes back, goes back about 3 years. San Diego, same thing. Let's try to get out of California. And Denver, well, let's go to Dallas, because there's Dallas on here actually. Dallas, the housing market wasn't overly valued, overly inflated in Texas. So when the prices bottomed out, I mean, you can still tell they bottomed out and they went back to the early 2000s. So it's not like it completely missed it. It's just that the market wasn't so inflated that when the prices came back down, it didn't hurt as bad. And I want to show Phoenix, because Phoenix and Las Vegas are kind of what's going on now. We see this rapid growth and this rapid plummet. And again, this rapid growth and this rapid plummet, which is probably what's going to happen right now. I just hope it's not too bad. But if we take a look at these charts, you see right here at the end of 21, they all kind of start slowing down before they start blowing up again. They all start slowing down before they start blowing up again. Look at this one, slowing down and then blowing up. So, you know, our price is going to fall from 22 because right now we're in that correction phase. So if they go back 2-3 years, we're in 2020, 2019. What if they go back to 2017, 2016, and the pandemic boom of refinances because of the low rates actually made more people take out more money than they did prior to the 07, 08, 09 crash. So there was more money taken out of the houses. So if the house values go below these pre-pandemic levels, it could be disastrous, as a lot of people are going to be underwater on their mortgages. And right now, you know, finally we're seeing that the economy is kind of starting to slow down, and these hiring freezes that are happening, these layoffs, they're only going to get worse. So prices were going down. Now we have the fear of prices going down because it's in the news media. Then we're going to have unemployment going up. We're going to have the recession, which we're in it. So we have all these phases that are going to further cause home values to go down. So where we're going to end up, I mean, prices are definitely coming down, and they're definitely gonna go back some years. So stay tuned as the market's changing here for updates on what's going on in Houston. Follow me, hit that like button, leave a comment, and see you next time.